Hello, YTPC. Ethan, Parsimonious Piper here. Today I've got a little morsels for mental manducation. We're going to talk about the barbershop. But first, in Aaron McCabe, Chronicles of a Pipe Maker, beautiful little 320-esque pipe with some lovely grain and stem, gorgeous shape. I am smoking some Peterson Nightcap, courtesy of Cosmo, Cat Dad Piper. Thank you, Cosmo. Now this is billed as a Latakia heavy English. It is. But it's also got Virginias, Turkish or Orientals, some Perique. What I really get out of this, besides a heavy dose of Latakia, is that kind of floral sourness maybe from the Orientals. I'm not picking up on the Perique a whole lot. I don't get a whole lot of sweetness from the Virginias. In some ways, this is similar to From Beyond. But where From Beyond left me a little, meh, it was okay. This, in my spreadsheet, this could be a 4 or 5 out of 5 stars among English blends. To give you an idea, Pirate Cake, which is just 75% Latakia and the rest burley, it's very monochromatic. That's a 5-star for me because I love Latakia. This is not as strong in that regard, but the Orientals sure make it interesting. Very tasty. I like this a lot. Thank you, Cosmo. Where were we? Barbershop. You know, I've heard a number of YTPC presenters, particularly some old timers, but not exclusively, lament the encroachment of subjects like politics and religion into the YTPC. They say, you know, YTPC didn't used to be like this. They may be right. It didn't. It's changed. In particular, I noticed a significant change a couple of years ago when all of this lockdown mess first started. The YTPC has, to some extent, become similar to your old neighborhood barbershop. See, when I was a young man, my 20s, into my 30s, used to go to a barbershop in Mesa, Arizona, called Cut Ups. Man, the guys were fantastic. I used to wear a flat top. Needed maintenance regularly. Those guys, man, they talked and argued about everything. I think they were on opposite sides of every issue, significant or insignificant, whether it was sports, politics, religion. They argued back and forth. They sometimes called each other names. They used some pretty strong language occasionally, although they cleaned that up when moms would come in with their young boys for haircuts. But at the end of the day, those same men came back the following week for their haircuts and their discussions and their arguments with each other over politics and religion. over things that matter. Why? Well, because they were friends. There were things that were bigger, but that didn't keep them from discussing the things they disagreed on. Why is that relevant here? Well, a couple of years ago, there was in fact a shift in the YTPC as hundreds of thousands, millions of men around the world were suddenly forced to stay home. Now, men don't create the social networks that the ladies do to begin with. And yes, ladies, I'm not ignoring you here, but I'm specifically talking about psychology and behavior of men, and there is a difference. Men tend not to build the social networks that the ladies do to begin with. When those are disrupted, it can be devastating. When the lockdown started, alcoholism shot up. I know I drank more than I should have for a while. Drug abuse shot up. Suicide rates shot up, particularly among men. The social network was disrupted. Now, the YTPC isn't the cure for that necessarily, but for a lot of us, it has been a replacement. You see, a lot of those social networks, even though we've opened our society back up, a lot of those social networks, just like a lot of small businesses, didn't survive. So when we turned to something like the YTPC as a way of expressing and communicating and conversing back and forth with other men, whether they agreed with us on things or not, we didn't get that back when the economy reopened. We hung around. So, if you don't like the various channels that discuss politics and religion, I do on Mondays. Don't watch my Monday video. If a video goes a direction that you don't particularly like and you don't want to leave a comment rebutting it, which you really should, that's what conversation is, just hit the dislike and move on. We can disagree on things, and we should disagree on things and remain friends. We should show the rest of the world how you can disagree on things and remain friends. Because I think we can. So, that's my little rant about the YTPC and politics and religion. Do people sometimes take things too far? Of course they do in every community. Call them out on it. Do so respectfully. And if you have to, move on. But don't pretend that our fathers, our grandfathers, our great-grandfathers didn't have these same exact kinds of discussions in the places that they hung out, because they did. The older gentlemen that populated that lovely barber shop were a great example for me. There's a lot you can learn from them. I know I did. And being able to disagree, but have those important discussions, well, that's one of them. Now, I hope that you will agree the YTPC in general is just a wonderful community. We support each other. We do care for each other, even when we disagree with each other. And with that, Light something in your pipe that you like, and let me tell you, I am really enjoying this nightcap. I think I found something I need to sell her. But light something you like. Enjoy your afternoon.